Welcome to another episode of Breadcrumbs to Blueprints. This is the What's Your Superpower series, and today our special guest is Kate. Welcome to the show, Kate.
Thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. So tell us, the big question, what is your superpower?
My superpower is I'm an empath but also psychic, so I can tune into people on a deeper level. I work with my guides. Information that comes through, sometimes they'll give it to me in there's many different ways. Sometimes I'll see it, hear it, or all of the above. See, hear and feel. So the messages it can be, sometimes it's like a short video. Other times it's like I'm hearing somebody talking to me. So I'm getting information in many different ways, but also connecting to the client. I'm picking up information on a deeper level as well. So I'm getting information in many different ways.
Oh, that's very exciting. And for the viewers that may be new to this and they may not know what an empath is, would you mind explaining what an empath is?
Empath is somebody who feels other people's pain. And that was an issue that I had growing up. You know, people used to say to me, just get over it. If I was in the shops and there was a child crying, I would feel their pain. It's like, I'm crying because they're crying. I'm feeling their pain. And I was always told, you're too soft, just grow up, get over it. And it just doesn't happen. The more people say that to you, the more you feel indifferent to everybody else.
That's true. So were you, so you obviously were born with this ability to be an empath?
It comes through on the female side of the family, but my brother and grandson have also got it.
So you've followed this back?
Yes.
Aha. And right, so have you gone around and done an investigation? Like, how have you worked this out that your family members, the generations after have it as well? How do you know?
Well, I knew my mum had it. My eldest brother's got it.
Yep.
I've noticed that there are different things that happen in his life that he knows they're going to happen before they do.
Ah, okay.
My mum, I knew that she had passed before the nursing home had told me she'd passed. I rang them up and said, my mum's passed, and can you tell me if I can come up and visit? And they said, no, she hasn't. I said, yes, she has.
Right.
So, in that way, sometimes it could be a blessing and other times it's not, because it's like you know things before other people do. And it's like if you know that there is an accident, sometimes you can see something that you can help prevent, not so much scare that person, but, just ask them to be wary. You don't tell them full on, what you're seeing, but you just say, be cautious when you're driving today, that sort of thing. You don't want a speeding ticket or something like that.
Right, okay. And do you only feel I'll say the negative emotions, or do you feel people's happier, higher vibrational vibes
you
as
feel
well?
all of the above.
Feel all of the above. Okay.
Yes.
Great. And so what do you do with this ability? Because you work in this field and you help people with it, yeah?
I work healing people, so I work with people that are going through post-traumatic stress disorder, anger, anxiety, that sort of thing. Also people that have had marriage breakups. They're meant to, some of the clients are led to believe that it's their fault, that they're of the situation, where it's just passing the blame onto someone else. It's easier to pass the blame than it is to take responsibility for yourself. So it's taking people back to where the issue started from and releasing it from there.
So because you are an empath, you can feel this as well to be true.
Yes.
In the client, and then you use your psychic abilities to be able to tap into their history to be able to make sense of it for them, or are they sort of have to work it out for themselves? How does that work with your abilities? How does it tie in?
Usually it's asking them what they're feeling, what they're going through. And then when you're tapping in, you can see that you can go deeper. It's like they're just skimming the surface. Sometimes it can go back to past lives as well. So it can be things that's been, compounded, from different lives into this life. And it's like it just gets to that point where it's like it's bubbling over.
Yes, yes. So, and you go into past lives as well with your psychic abilities.
Yes.
Yeah. You do lots of things. I know you do Reiki as well, so you energy healing, directing that energy. So what profound experiences have you had having this ability?
So many different ones. There are times I've had a message for a lady on a plane. Never seen her before, never seen her again, and I had a message, if I don't give the message off, and I'm meant to, it'll keep repeating itself like a bad headache until I give the message off. This lady was sitting opposite me in the plane, and I think we were going from Adelaide to Melbourne to Queensland. And all the way from Adelaide to Melbourne, I was getting this message, and it's like, well, who do I have to give this to? And it's like you look around, and as soon as you've got your eyes on that person, yes, that's the person you need to give it to.
You just know.
You just know. And I said to the lady, I don't know whether you believe in this sort of thing, but I've got a message to you, to give you, that when you get to Melbourne, that the person that's meant to be meeting you at the airport won't be there. You need to give them a call. Don't panic, everything's okay. And she said, oh, okay. I found out later, because she was then caught the same plane on further, and she said that one of her family members had a stroke and was taken to hospital, so no one was there to pick her up. She had time to actually go, because it was a 4-hour layover. She had time to go and check the person in the hospital. And then she came back to me and said, oh, well, that they're okay now. That they got to the hospital in time, there's people looking after her.
Right. So you were in the same stopover as her?
Yes.
Oh, right. So you were sitting there in the airport.
Never knew her before.
Never knew, and she went off and came back.
Yeah.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Mm.
Gee, and does this happen like spontaneously? Could you actually bring these messages on yourself by connecting, or do they just, you don't ask for them, they just happen?
They just happen. I had one years ago. I used to work with my husband in Victoria Square Shopping Arcade. We used to be caretakers there, and Saturdays was my morning off. And I'm home and I get this message, you've got to go to Victoria Square Shopping Arcade and you've got to be there by a certain time. And I'm thinking, well, what for? It's my day off. Anyway, if I don't take notice again, it keeps nagging me. So I went into Vic Square, and there's this lady sitting at a table just inside the door. There's a coffee shop there. And I said, good morning. And she goes, are you talking to me? And I said, yes, why? She said, today was going to be my last day. She said, I was thinking about committing suicide. She said, because I felt I was invisible. I came in here every day and nobody's ever spoken to me. She said, I felt that I was invisible, and it's like, well, why are you still being here? Nobody wants to talk to me. I felt so indifferent, she was saying. It's like, well, what's wrong with me? And she said, you're the first person that's spoken to me. I said, do you still feel the same way? She said, no. And I get that message as, you can go now, you've done your bit.
Wow. So in an instant, she changed her mind.
Yeah.
Because you saw her. That's incredible. What a wonderful feeling to go. Yeah. So you were guided really to go in completely guided. How incredible. So, all right. Tell us any other stories that you have of, maybe if somebody's interested in developing this ability, or how would you explain to the viewer to decipher that they are getting messages?
It's hard to explain to other people, because sometimes people get a message, it's like, when you're thinking of something and you get the answer, sometimes you get the information that way. And other times it's like you're hearing voices, and it's like you're hearing voices from out here, like like the physical body hears.
Yes.
So you're getting the information in different ways. So sometimes if you're asking a question and you're getting the answers, you're thinking, well, is it my head talk or is it the real thing? So ask the question again in a different way and you should get the same answer.
That's a great way, because we do question that, don't we? Think, well, did I just make that up? Is that just all in my head, or is that a real thing?
Yes.
So question it, ask the question again in a different way.
Yes.
Could you give an example of that?
You put me on the spot.
So if we've got a message, would you say, okay, I can hear a voice in my head that's telling me, don't go to work today, just say. And then to ask that in another way, is it really me just being lazy today and not feeling like going to work, or is this a true message from my guides telling me not to go to work because there's a reason behind it? So I would ask that question again.
You can also ask, why shouldn't I go to work? If you're getting the message, don't go to work today, you can ask, why shouldn't I go to work? And there'll be information that comes up.
Again. And it could be in a different way again, not so much the voice, or?
It'll be the same sort of, same sort of voice or the same sort of way that you received it the first time, but there should be some more information.
And how has your ability grown over the years? Because I imagine it would have grown. The more you use it, the more...
Definitely.
Yeah.
Meditation helped in the beginning. I wasn't very good at focusing on things, visualising at first, but now I can get it all different ways. But at the beginning, you know, when you're on a meditation, it takes you on journeys and things like that, and it just wasn't happening. It took a while for me to actually slow down and take that personal time, because in most of our lives you're so busy rushing around doing things that when you listen to meditation, it's like you're thinking, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. So it's trying to bring yourself back to the now and know that you're just as important as everyone else.
Because it is important to meditate and go within, isn't it? And so how long did you persist at quietening down those thoughts? The call it the monkey mind.
Yes.
Yeah. How, you know, was that a long process for you? Like, or did you found maybe, you know, you persisted with it for a couple of months and then it fell into place? I'm just thinking for the viewers who might be, you know, trying to meditate as well, and, you know, experiencing the monkey mind, you know, for you, like, what would you recommend a
I
time?
find that guided meditations were the best because it gives you something to focus on. If they just start you off and then leave you and come back later, it's like, you know, with me, it was like I could be doing something else, you know, during this time. But when you're focused on a guided meditation, they're taking you through, talking you through. So there's different things that they're sort of telling you to look out for, or certain things for you to see, or certain people or guides to connect to, you know, that sort of thing. So it's giving you something else to focus on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Everybody has got healing abilities, but not everybody knows how to use them. Everybody's got natural healing, but it's knowing how to use it and how to help it, either for themselves or for somebody else. So it's using the natural, the easiest way to explain it is using natural healing energy. So the easiest way is, like, if you use one hand as a satellite dish, and you can use the other hand for directing it. So you're picking this up, you try it yourself. So,
I've done this before in my Tesla metamorphosis. Okay. Yeah.
So one hand, move it around till you find that energy, you're feeling it, and use the other hand to send it. Is that making sense?
Yes, I've experienced this because I do Tesla metamorphosis, and we do exactly that technique.
So if a person's got pain, and being an empath, you'll feel the pain that they've had. So you can imagine that you're pulling it out, putting it into a bin. So you keep going until yours also reduces. So when you feel that yours is gone, then you can fill that space up with the healing energy. So if you're using this type of healing, you're picking it up and you're sending it. If you're there's other ways of doing it. So you're connecting to the universal healing energy, and it's flowing over you and through you, and you're sending that. So there's different ways of doing it.
Right. And the other thing with that too is the healings that are done not face to face. I can't think of the word right now.
Distant healing.
Distant healing. Thank you. This is a thing too, isn't it? It's
yes,
It's not woo woo. It's a real thing. You hear lots of stories of people having distant healing, receiving and giving, and the stories that come out of that. Have you experienced that as well?
I can do it over the phone or FaceTime as well. So you're being an empath, you're still connecting to that person. So you're feeling what they're feeling, and you're sending it, and it's the same as if they were here in front of you.
What would you recommend for people to protect themselves, perhaps from absorbing, being an empath, other people's energies and feelings, especially if they're negative ones? Can one protect themselves from that?
I think one of the easiest things that I ask my clients to do is to imagine themselves in a bubble. Fill it up with some pink unconditional love from the God source. So just imagine that the colour of unconditional love, that pinky red colour of a rose, imagine that that's coming down through the top of your head into your body, and the excess is flowing over into that bubble. And you can also ask for some green healing energy, the colour of spring grass. You can put that into your bubble and ask to be able to feel the healing vibration of the spring grass, so that you're knowing that the different colours have different vibrations. And I also put blue in, colour of the sky on a beautiful sunny day. So ask them to breathe those colours through, and ask for them to be topped up automatically for as long as required. And on the outside of the bubble, I ask them to imagine a mirror facing out. So it keeps everybody else's energies out, and a mirror on the inside keeping those energies in. And those energies are being topped up automatically as required.
So it really is a visualization. What if a person's not very visual? What would you say to them to protect themselves? What if they couldn't do that?
It takes a bit of practice sometimes with visualization. So sometimes it's just feeling that they're, it's hard to explain. Put me on the spot now.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I just thought, some people say to me, I'm just not visual. Like, I'm not visual at all.
Sometimes it's just pushing your energy out. So if you're feeling that, to intensify your energies first, so breathing those energies through and feel empowered. And when you're feeling empowered, you're pushing your energies out, your energy field. So this is your energy field. It's like if you're walking down Rundle Mall on Christmas Eve, everybody's, walking on top of you. Everybody's in a hurry. So if you spread your energy out, you'll notice that you've got space. It's like people feel that your energy is out here instead of here.
So they will be more distant from you because they can feel your energy radiating.
Yes, it's like you're out here instead of in this way.
That's exciting. I might try that when I go down a busy shopping centre next time. I'm going to push my energy out and see if people actually keep a distance. Yeah, I'm sure they will. Yeah. I'm going to do that. Thank you. Let's talk about how we could teach the viewer of how to use their energy for healing.
Okay, so we've all got healing energy within us. So you can always intensify the energy by bringing it down from the God source, universal healing energy, in through the top of your head, through all of your internal, external organs, down to the centre of the earth where the crystals are, and bring that energy up. So therefore it's then part of you. You and the universal healing energy are one. So if you're looking at a person with me, I always get the pain on the opposite side. So if a person's got a headache on the left side, I feel it on the right, in the same place, but on the opposite side. So it's imagine you just pulling out the pain, you dissolving it, removing it. So you keep going until your headache's gone. If you're not an empath, the person, you can keep asking them, how's that feeling? Because not everybody's an empath. And I found that very awkward to begin with, because I thought everybody was an empath. I couldn't understand that, why is there a difference? But I think it's more that you're in tune with your energies as well. When you've taken out the pain, you imagine that you're just filling up that space with some healing energy. I use green or blue, either one works. Don't use red, because red can become anger with some people. So you're just filling up that space. Get the person to breathe, otherwise they can get very lightheaded. And if they're driving afterwards, you don't want them not to be able to focus on the driving. So just ask them to breathe until they're focused normally again.
And the colours that you're explaining too are the colours of the chakras, aren't they?
Yes.
Because I was thinking of the colour, because root chakra is where we store energy of anger. And that's when you said, don't use the red, because then they can, so I'm just relating to the colours that you're suggesting, because green is like the colour of the heart chakra, isn't it, for healing?
And blue.
And blue for the throat communication. Yeah, and then purple for the pineal.
Yes.
Yeah, the crown chakra.
Yes.
Yeah. So what you're explaining to me makes sense, because I'm drawing it in on that knowledge of the chakras and what each energy centre, the chakras, do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's healing those chakras as well. So if you're feeling pain or there's an issue that's stuck within you, go to the chakra centre that you feel is connected to that, and heal through your chakra centre.
Because I've heard that most of people's pains, not just physical but emotional, are in the lower three chakras: the root, the sacral, and the I can't think of it right now, the solar plexus.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
But if a person feels like that they can't talk, or they're very fired up, it's usually to do with the throat chakra.
Yes.
Like I can't get my message out.
Yes, that's true. Yes. Excellent. So what else do you do with all of these abilities? Because you do Reiki, you do past life regression. Is that like a hypnotic past life regression, or is that your psychic intuition?
It's a bit of both. The person that I'm working with is in that, like, the meditative state. They're not really asleep, they're not really awake. So they're bit like that state just before you go to sleep.
Mm.
So they're in that state. You can take them back to many past lives. There's usually 3 past lives that we'll be dealing with at the same time that have the same issues that they went through in those lifetimes they're dealing with in this lifetime. So it's taking them back to where it started from, releasing it from there, and doing some healing on that level, and then bring them back at the end.
What experiences have you had with assisting people with past life regression and healing?
Before they leave, I always check to make sure that it has worked with them, because sometimes if a person is not believing that it's possible, my husband was one of those, didn't believe that it could happen, you check with the person, and sometimes you might need to go back and do a little bit extra. It could be just something that needs to be fine-tuned with that person, and then it'll change what needs to be released. It could be that they're hanging on to it because of something that somebody had said, you know, that you're not good enough to release this, you know, that you're always going to be like that. So you need to go back and just check if that always is still there. Sometimes it's just that one word.
Just that one word that can change everything. So they've got to want to do it. They've got to want to have a desire to participate. You can't just heal somebody or do a past life regression if they've got to believe. There's got to be a level of belief.
There has to be a belief. There are some people that are inquisitive, and yes, it'll still work with them, but people that have really made up their mind that it's not going to work, they're the ones that most times it'll work, but there is that, sometimes it's that, and they don't want to admit that it's worked. They might ring you later and say, well, I'm sorry, it did work, I just didn't want to own up to it. You know, that sort of thing.
That's it. There's that little bit of resistance there, maybe a little bit of doubt.
Yes.
Maybe it's also a little bit of, is it even a word, undeservedness. Maybe they feel they don't deserve on such a deep level that they're like, nah, you know, I don't deserve it. Even though consciously they're saying I do, maybe subconsciously they feel they don't.
It's like people that's had marriage breakups. It depends on, you know, what the marriage breakup was from. Some of them it was very traumatic. So it's that feeling of I'm not worthy of having a person that loves me in my life. And they could have had 2 or 3 different partners that would treat them the same way. So deep down it's like, well, I'm not worthy of having anything other than what I've already had. So it's releasing all of that, changing that mindset, letting them know that they are a beautiful person. Yes, they are worthy of having unconditional love in their life. And as I said, I usually check to make sure before they leave that it has changed.
So when you were talking about past life regression, you mentioned that you did that for your husband, and he was a bit of a tricky one to work with. Could you go into that for us?
His wasn't so much past life. His was more that he didn't believe in any of this. When we were working in the shopping centre, there was the pharmacist that had the same abilities, and there was somebody that worked in the health shop. They also had the same abilities, and he used to say to me, "Don't tell anyone what you do because I think he's weird." Not me, but him.
Oh, right.
And then he said, "Until you can tell me one thing that nobody else knows," he said, "I won't believe it." And he was looking for a car, a particular type of car, a Commodore wagon. And I said, "It's going to be maroon. The grille goes up and down in approximately 5,000 kilometres on the clock, and it's going to be on a stand." Bullshit. Don't believe any of this crap. And I said, "Okay." And he was one of those that we live up by Tea Tree Plaza, and he drove, you know, up to Mount Barker looking for cars and up to the Riverland with him. He was, on a mission. And there was one particular day, because we were still working in the shopping centre, one of us had to be there all the time when the centre was open. So he'd sent me out there, and I get to this car yard. It's down by Scotty's Motel, down there on the corner. And just exactly what I said. It was pouring with rain. He says, "Well, what do you think?" And I said, "I think you'll have to check this one out." I said, "You're the one that's going to be driving it." I said, "So I'll come in and fill in for you." I said to the salesman, "I'll sign for the contract as long as you let him take it for a test drive and that his industrial polisher fits in the back." And he goes, "Fair enough, okay." So we swapped over and he goes out there, raining again, and he rings me up and he goes, "Don't know if I can say this." He goes, "Oh, smart ass." I said, "Why?" And he said, "Well, it's on a stand, it's maroon, the grill goes up and down." He said, "But you slipped on your ass, on your butt." He said, And I said, well, why? What did I say wrong? And he said, well, it's got 5,001 kilometres. So it can't all be perfect.
And one.
Yes, and one.
Maybe that's because I rolled it on the stand and it clicked up the extra one.
Yeah. Apparently, while I was talking to him, the salesman come up to him and said, would you like to take it for a test drive? And he said, well, it's got sold on the window. The salesman apparently said, oh, don't worry about that. The owner won't be here for a while, a couple of days. If you want to take it for a test drive, you can get you another one.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it for a test drive. He said, fantastic, just what I wanted. He said, oh, so you like it? And he goes, yeah. He said, but someone else has signed for it. He said, oh, don't worry about that, it's just your wife. So now it takes my booking, so yes, it drives me around.
That is one awesome story. So
Until
you
then,
bought the car. Let me just make this really clear. So you predicted the car that he would buy, and he was going everywhere on a search, on a mission for this car.
Yes.
You knew exactly the one that would be the colour, the kilometres, and you bought the car knowing 110% before he even saw it.
Yeah, I'd seen it because he'd sent me to the car yard. When I saw it, I thought, this is it.
You
this
knew
is
it
the
was
one.
the one.
And I can tune into a car and I can know if it's a good car or not. I can
Right.
tell if there's something wrong with the car salesman don't like me. I can tell if a car's been in an accident. I can tell where it's been welded. And I can tell if, you know how sometimes if it's a second-hand car, you get the family that argues all the time. I can feel that as well. So, yes, salesmen don't like me.
Wow. So yeah, when you say salesman, I can know if it's welded. You're not talking physical. You're talking psychically. You know if everything's been patched up and hidden. They've stuck banana peels in the muffler and all that type of stuff.
I had one salesman in Gora is coming up to me and says, fantastic car. And I said, oh, but it's two cars, it's not one. I said, you know, this car's been welded. He goes, no, it hasn't. I said, yes, it has. I said, I've had no knee surgery and I can't get down there, proving me wrong. And he's holding his phone and he said, oh, my phone's ringing. I said, the one you're holding? I said, I can't hear it. And he goes, you know, it is a fantastic car. He said, it hasn't been in an accident. I said, prove me wrong. I said, no, it is a good car. I said, but for the price you're offering, no. I said, it's a no. And he was going on, you know, trying to sell me this car. And I said, well, go on, prove me wrong. He goes, oh, the officer's calling me. I can hear him. Couldn't find him again after that.
Wow. Well, that's an awesome skill to have, especially when buying a car, you know.
Because if you work with energies, you can feel the different two types of energies from the cards. You know, and you can tell where the join is, so to speak.
Gee, how did you develop to have such fine tuning with the energy?
It's just practice, I think.
Just practice. The meditation, tuning within.
Yes.
That was the main way?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how it all started.
That's how it all started. Okay, and now you're a theta healer as well.
Yes.
Yes. So tell us about that.
The theta healing, I did that twice actually. The first time I did it, and I wasn't connecting to it. It works on a deep level, and there's sometimes, as we were saying before, sometimes you're not ready for it. You know, you can be working with it, and it just doesn't happen. And there was one particular area in the course where you had to take a mirror, and I conveniently forgot. So we're doing the course and it's just before lunch and she says, oh, everybody get out your mirror. And so I haven't got mine. Everyone else is getting out theirs. And I said, well, you know, what do we need the mirror for? And she said, oh, you'll find out. And I said, but I haven't got one. She said, don't worry, I've got the perfect mirror for you. So she goes into the spare room and you can hear all this rustling and she comes out backwards. And I'm thinking, why is she coming out backwards? She's got this enormous mirror, like you'd see in the old-fashioned movies, those big pictures on the wall. And she puts it on my lap and she goes, I've just got the perfect mirror for you.
So the mirror was like framed in an ornate frame,
yep.
And it was huge. So she was walking out of a room backwards because she was carrying it because it was so cumbersome.
It's got that real, like you'd see on the movies, you know, the
gilding or
the gilding and the framework, that wooden framework. It was exactly the same. And she puts it on my lap and she goes, now what do you see? And I'm going, dust. Trying to wipe it off with my arm.
Yeah.
And she goes, now that you got rid of the dust, what do you see? And I'm looking at my fingers and going, fingerprints. And she goes, cut the crap. Come on, get on with it. And I'm thinking, well, what am I supposed to see? You know, people are saying, look into the mirror. And I'm just not seeing what, no, can't see what you're trying to tell us. And you're supposed to be telling her exactly the good points that you could see about yourself. If somebody looks at you, what could they see? And for me, I couldn't see anything. It was going through a stage where I just felt like I'd shut down because everybody told me I was so different. And when you're different, it's like, you know, you just feel like you don't fit in. And then she'd asked other people, you know, what they saw in me, you know, and all the good points. And everybody had a nice comment. One of it was, you know, that she's our friend, she's always there for you, you know, that sort of thing. She's easy to talk to, you know, those sorts of things. But when it came to me, I couldn't see any of that. So I found that was one of the main things that stood out for me. So if you ask to take a mirror, make sure you take one.
Oh, what's this for the...
Yes, if anybody else is looking at doing the thing,
do the course, do take the mirror because it's important. Yeah, to look at yourself in mirror. I think Louise Hay does a mirror healing as well. Look in the mirror and, you know, talk to yourself. I think you have to say, I love you in the mirror to yourself. And if you look at your eyes in the mirror and say that, it's really confronting.
Yes.
Well, it can be. Depends
yes.
what your relationship is like with yourself. Because the most important relationship you can have, right, is the one with yourself. So it better be a good one.
But a lot of people bypass themselves.
Absolutely.
Don't want to go there.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. And because we're always conditioned to look outwards, out of ourselves, you know.
And you're always there for everybody else, not for yourself.
Not for yourself.
But if you're not there for you, you can't be there for everybody else either.
That's it, 100%. So do you practice theta healing for people as well?
I do theta healing, but I also work with people now with innate energy, so connecting to them on a deeper level. So even though that theta connects on deeper levels, this seems to go even deeper again.
Right.
And can actually talk to the body.
Right.
It's different. One's like intuitive. Theta healing's more intuitive. You're connecting on an intuitive level.
Yes.
But the innate body, it's like you can talk to the body. You can get them, the client, you can teach them in a few minutes how to connect to their own body, how to know, you know, sometimes it can be what foods that they're having if they're allergic to different things, you know, and that sort of thing.
Is this something that you've discovered?
Yes, it is.
Oh, right. How interesting. So does it involve a meditation? Like can I ask how one does that, or?
It's just connecting. It's like, in some ways, it's like a mind communication. So I'll see if I can get you to do it. So close your eyes.
Sure, okay. Yes?
Okay, close your eyes. Ask to connect to your physical body first. Let me know when you're there.
Yes.
Ask to connect to your innate body. So you're connecting to your body on 7 levels. And your body can't lie. So ask your body something that you would like to know. And the answer should be a thought that comes up. Ask it another question. Feel it if you need to. Ask for more information. If you're a visual person, ask to be shown in picture form. Is there anything else that you need to know about that question? If so, ask for more information. If not, just bring yourself back to today, to this room, to this moment. You can open your eyes.
Okay.
How'd you go?
I think good.
Yes. So what was happening?
I had a question. Was I meant to ask for physical pain?
It can be anything.
Or anything? Because
It
I
can be
asked.
anything.
Yes, I asked physical first, and I got my answer there, and I was happy about that. But it's private, so I can't share
No,
that.
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and the next one too. I just thought I would ask about the channel, and I just said, because it's really exciting doing this channel and actually seeing how many people subscribe. And I never thought I'd get excited about that because it's just never been my thing, but I am now. So I thought, what about 1,000 subscribers? Is that possible? It was like, yes. And then you said to ask another question, and I said, so when will that happen?
Yes.
And I heard December. And then I thought, do I ask what year? And then I was seeing 24, 25, 24, 25, 24, 25. So I just stopped it there. But then after that, I saw a big red love heart.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think people will like my show.
Okay, can you get back into that headspace?
Mm-hmm.
There's a few more questions I want to ask.
Okay.
So physical body first,
All right.
and then ask to connect to your innate body. Take yourself forward in time. How many books have you written?
Oh, that's so funny because that's exactly what just popped into my head. I saw 3.
So did I.
Oh, okay.
If there's things that you're seeing that you feel that, oh, I really don't want to go there because of that, you can ask, what do I need to do to change it? What do I need to do to move forward? Or what is the block?
So this is it's so easy. It's like a game. Just close your eyes and just trust whatever pops into your head.
As long as you're connecting to your innate body,
Uh-huh.
your innate body can't lie. If you're talking to your physical body will tell you what it thinks you want to hear.
Aha.
So close your eyes again and only connect to your physical body.
All right, and just for the viewers too, so connecting to physical body is different from innate.
Yes, it'll have a different
Energy. I found the innate one, the feeling for me was quieter.
Yes.
It was like I was surrounded, not that I was inside of, but if I have to describe it, it was like there was padding around me and I was in the core of this marshmallow.
So it's, the innate's working on the physical, mental, emotional and spiritual, history, genetic, DNA and soul level. So it's a lot to do with the soul level as well. So it works on all of those levels. So if you're doing this and you're closing your eyes and you only connect to your physical body will tell you what it thinks you want to hear. And the physical body, if they're like, your physical body would want to protect you. So if you're looking at moving forward in your career and there's some stumbling blocks along the way, they're going to put more stumbling blocks along in the way. Because in the past, when you got to a stumbling block, you would stop, you wouldn't want to go forward, it was too hard. But when you're talking to the innate, it's bypassing all of those things. It's showing you what can happen.
Yes.
But you can also ask, what do I need to do to get from where I am today to where I need to be?
And you can ask the question. Okay. And so you can change your path. You can by visualising through the innate body.
Yes, and asking the questions, what do I need to do to change it?
Okay.
To change the outcome.
That's it's just so simple.
And it works also if you've got a partner in your life, a new partner, and there's just something about that partner that you can't put your finger on. You can connect to them in the same way. So instead of connecting to your own innate body, you can ask to connect to theirs. So they don't have to be here, but if you're asking permission and they're giving you a yes or a no, if you're getting a no, you can ask why. Why is there a no? But normally I've only had one person that's had a no. Normally it's a straight yes. So you can then connect, but make sure you're connecting to their innate body.
How do you know if you truly are?
It's a different feeling, like you said, it's a different... So try and connect to your physical body.
All right.
And tell me what's the difference.
I'm more conscious of my physical body.
Yeah.
I'm just more conscious of being inside my legs and my arms and my aches and pains.
Your innate body doesn't lie, can't lie.
That's it. That's true. Yeah. Same with hypnosis. Like
Yes.
It's just there's no lying in there. It's benevolent.
I can't be hypnotised.
You can't be hypnotised.
No.
Really? But you do it every day naturally.
It's going on that deeper level. It's like if I've had a few people that's tried to hypnotise me, and it's like I take myself in a different place, and it's not where you're being hypnotised.
Okay, but
It's
if you
like
can...
it's like you're giving your control away. If someone's hypnotising you, they've got control.
But they don't.
No, because with me it's like, this is mine.
Do you know, with the hypnosis, so I explain to all my clients that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. All I am is Google Maps, and I'm just selecting the right map you've come to me because you want to go, you just say you want to feel happy. Okay, so I select through some investigation, some discussion, find a map that's going to be appropriate for you to get you to that happy destination. And so I tell my client, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. I can't do it to you. I'm not going to find out the PIN number to your bank account, anything like that. I am literally just Google Maps, like in your car. Where you take the journey and what you see out of the windows of scenery, I can't see any of that. But I just know what streets to take to get you there. And we hope to get there. There's no, if a person doesn't want to do it, there's resistance, then they won't, because you are always in control. So no one can control you. No one can get in your head and put a new map in there. It really is up to you. You're fully in control. So that's what I say to people. I'm just Google Maps. You can actually opt out anytime.
So do you see what's happening with them on their journey when you're doing the hypnosis?
In a physical sense, I don't see them moving. No, I feel, yeah. But it's their work, not mine. So, I'm conscious of transference as well.
So with hypnosis, if there's something they don't want to see, are they still going to see it?
It depends what journey we take. It depends what journey we take. Like, I set up a safe place for everybody. Everybody has a safe place. And that way, if there's anything they're going on a journey, they've taken a road that's uncomfortable, straight to the safe place. They can take themselves there. They have full control. So I make that very clear to them.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. And, I explain too, we all, I believe we all are hypnotisable because we do it every day. It's the natural daydream state. Like when you're in a car and you're driving from A to B and you think, it was a 30-minute drive and you felt like it was 5 minutes and you're there and you don't even remember turning the car left or right. You're just there because you're in daydream state and you're accessing the deeper part of your mind. Even though we're fully still operational driving a car, we are able to do two things at once.
Yes.
Because those driving the car becomes a second nature. And so it's very natural. We go into hypnosis all day, every day. Naturally. So maybe it's just the term.
Yeah, it probably is.
That's just the term, because if you're doing guided meditation,
it's the same sort of thing.
It is exactly the same. Because the guide, that's the thing with hypnosis, the guide is like selecting the right map, if you like, and guiding them through a process and being with them the whole time. So it's like support, it's like comfort having a hypnotherapist there. Yeah, well, I'm a psychotherapist and hypnotherapy is a tool. It's not solely what I do. Well, psychotherapy it's the information gathering, the cognitive behavioural discussions, it's the working together, and it's talking at a conscious level. See, our mind is, this is your interview, why am I talking about this stuff?
Because people are interested in it as well.
All right, sure. So the conscious mind, imagine it like an iceberg, and then above the water is the tip of the iceberg, which is only 5% of our mind, and that's our conscious mind. It's what we're using now to have this discussion. And it's very busy. If we're talking about brainwave states, it's the beta or the beta brainwave state. It's a very fast state. And I say to people, it's like the revs of a car, like when you're in first gear and the car's really revving, really high, going grrr. Yes. And then when we actually look up, we shift our eyes up to the sky or the ceiling, we get a burst of alpha. And alpha is a slower gear of the car, if you like. It slows down the brain waves. And that's a nice state to be in for hypnosis, a very low alpha. And then when we're in hypnosis, we're in the theta brainwave state. We'd like to be alpha theta. We're in that zone where change happens. And so the difference between hypnosis and psychotherapy is that psychotherapy is all the 5%. It's the conscious mind revving out, thinking, analysing, the logical, analytical brain. And then when we're doing hypnosis, then we can access the 95% of the brain, which is the iceberg underneath the water, where all memories are stored. So everything that we've experienced from day dot, and I don't just mean in this life, I mean past lives, like it's so apparent that we are, well, we never die. Well, we are just, I describe ourselves as like hard drives collecting information from every experience. It's all there, feelings, thoughts, emotions.
I describe it as like your body's like a jumpsuit. You unzip the jumpsuit, and the jumpsuit is what you either cremate or bury. The energy from inside that's what lives on. That's what comes back in another lifetime.
That's it. And I like your jumpsuit. That's actually a really nice way to say it, because, you know, I've heard the meat suit and it sounds like, oh, I just think of the butchers.
Yeah.
and if you're vegan, that's just gross.
Sometimes people get to a certain level and the next level is that really hard level where they've really got to face things, or that feeling of dread comes up. If you let them know that feeling of dread's only going to last a few seconds, not hours, a few seconds, they're willing to get into that level, and it's then gone forever. But it's that fear of, you know, they're feeling it coming up, they're feeling it rising, and it's that anticipation of where are we going from here, or, you know, that really intense anxiety.
And it can build resistance too.
Yes,
They just
put
the skids on, as
Oh,
I say,
yes.
and don't want to go any further.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's about, I think being a hypnopsychotherapist is about balancing that as well, like setting them up for safety, exploring. But, you know, when people see me, I never launch into a first session doing a regression, never. Or, you know, even some Gestalt techniques are really powerful. So it's always setting them up for success, getting them to be mindful of their thoughts, establishing a safe place, witnessing, you know, breathing, learning actually what the altered state, which is hypnosis, feels like as well, and then gaining confidence along the way, not only with me guiding them, experiencing the process, but confidence in themselves that they're doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing modality. And so really, I think when just the thing that I just popped into my head then is that what you do, what I do,
Very similar.
that's it.
Just done in a different way.
Exactly. Yep, you read my mind.
Yes.
Not surprising, you're a psychic. I love it. Okay, what else would you like to share with us in your interview today that you've allowed me very graciously to explain too, which thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, what would you like to share?
I think it's healing in any modality. It's connecting to the body on a deeper level. It's not just the surface level. The deeper that you can go, the quicker it can be released, but released on a gentle level. Everybody's different, so not the same thing will work for everybody. It's like with the theta healing, you can do it in many different ways. The basics are the same, but getting that person to be able to connect sometimes needs to be done in a different way. So what's fearful for one, like if a person's had like a marriage breakup because of physical traumas, they're not going to want to go and face that physical trauma to release it. So there's different ways of connecting so that they're connecting but not seeing it or not reliving it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes, yes.
Because you're not going to want to relive it again.
That's it. And there's lots of like hypnotic movie screen techniques too,
Yes.
where you take them out of them and then they see themselves from a different perspective. Yeah, that's right. And that's the beauty of having so many healing modalities, is that people will find the one that resonates with them.
Yes.
You know, and the journey is about that too, isn't it? The one that feels the best for them, that provides them the space or the platform
Definitely.
to heal or to change in some way.
What you think about is what becomes within the body. So what you think is what you believe, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Change your thoughts, change your body.
That's it. I totally
Change
believe
your
that
life.
too. Totally believe that too.
It's like a lot of people in past lives, in this life, if you've been growing up with not enough, like, you know, you might have come from a large family so there wasn't enough money to go around. You're always going to feel like there's never enough. I'm not good enough to have that because there's, you know, so much of us, or so many of us. You know, there's that sort of feeling. So it's realising that you're even though that you're part of the same DNA, your DNA is not exactly the same as the next person, not the same as your brothers or sisters. You can always change the outcome. You're not them, they're not you.
That is a great message for everybody. Just because you're part of the same DNA in the family, you're not them.
Yes.
They're not you, and you can change your outcome.
Definitely.
Oh, I love that. How empowering is that?
Definitely.
It's so true.
Yes.
Yeah, that's super exciting. So listen to that one. That's great.
It's like when you're buying a lottery ticket, you'll hear a lot of people say, I just bought my ticket, but
Yeah.
I know we're not going to win. So why buy it in the first place?
Why buy it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at, that you've won the lottery, what can I do with the winnings? Who can I help, or what can I do with it? How will my life change, or those around me?
Yes.
So instead of looking at the positive things, they're just looking at, oh, well, I won't win, didn't win it last time.
Because what you think is what you manifest.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. It reminds me of Greg Braden. You've heard of Greg Braden, right? Yeah, of course you have. So, because, I'm speaking to Kate for the first time, as I do with many of these interviews. And it's a lovely way to get to know somebody on camera. So Greg Braden, he talked about the Gospel of Thomas. And he said it was removed apparently, and we won't get into all the religious stuff, but this part of the Bible was removed, and it was basically teaching us how to pray. And exactly what you said about the cross lotto ticket, like if you think, well, I bought one, but I'm not going to win,
Yes.
well, that's what will happen. So how we pray is, because they used to say, ask and you shall receive. Do you remember hearing that?
Yes.
Ask and you shall receive. But the Gospel of Thomas, there was something omitted from that the gospel, it is in the Gospel of Thomas, the proper way to pray. And that is, yeah, sure, you ask and you shall receive. But the thing that was missing was the magic. And that is, you've got to feel as if it's already happened, which is just what you said about the lottery ticket. Yeah, and I thought that is gold.
Definitely.
Because when you really want it, that's the feeling.
It's like people when they've got terminal illnesses. If you're focusing on, well, I've got it, and, the doctors are telling you all these things, you've only got a certain amount of time to live. If you can connect to your innate body and ask your innate body, what do I need to do to overcome this, to heal this? There'll be information that will come up, and you're getting it direct from you. With doctors and things like that, I know that there are a lot of medications and things that the body does need. So I'm not saying don't use them, but ask your innate body, is that right for you? You might find that what they're giving you is like the medication needs to be separated instead of having it together. Or that it might be that you're meant to be taking 3 of one sort of tablet and 2 of the other, and you might find your body might say, well, it needs to be till this and not till that.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're not saying don't use that, but your body will tell you what's the best thing. Is there natural foods that you can have that will also help to heal your body?
So what I'm hearing from you explaining that too is that we need to have more discussions with ourselves.
Yes.
So we need to actually question things. We need to question things. We need to have... The mind chat needs to be more directed.
Yes.
Rather than focusing on the outward things, what I'm going to do today, got to get the shopping done, got to pick up the kids, got to cook the dinner, don't forget to pay that bill. That's the outward stuff. But really, okay, we went to the chemist, we picked up those tablets. Now, are these good for me?
Exactly.
Let's ask the next question.
So you can do that with the script before you pick them up.
Yes, okay. Yeah, no, that's great. So that's important too. Questioning. Having directed mind chat. Is that a clear term?
If you're connecting to it and it's saying, no, these aren't the right ones, you can ask why not. So as I said before, you can ask for more information. And you can keep asking for more information. They might say it's not right for you today, or you're taking it at the wrong time of day. You might take it in the first thing in the morning, where they're saying the afternoon's better because you've got more food in your system or something like that. So it's not saying no, not forever, or it could be that you need a different brand. Sometimes a different brand has got different chemicals in it. So, you ask your body.
Good advice. So we've come to the end of the interview time now. So would you like to share with the viewers some words of wisdom from all of your wisdom and experience with helping people heal, helping people tune into themselves, their innate bodies?
So tuning, to me, it's always healing from the inside out. and also connecting to the innate body. It's not just the person's innate body. You can connect to the innate energy of a house. If you're buying a house, you can tune into the house from home and just ask, is there anything wrong with this home? Is there anything I need to know? Is there white ants in it? Does it have noisy neighbours? You can find all that out from home just by tuning in, and it can save you thousands of dollars. Because you can also ask for the price.
Aha, very good. Thank you so much for your time today, Kate.
Thank you.
And if anybody would like to know anything more about Kate, all of her details will be in the description box below. So thanks again, and thanks for watching Breadcrumbs to Blueprints.
And thank you for having me on.
If you have enjoyed my show, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to be my next guest on the show, my details are in the description box below.